everyone, welcome to today's live. I'm the Urban Seer, your guide to love, destiny and manifesting the life you desire, and I hope you're all doing well as we start this new week. And I hope that this space brings you some peace, brings you some clarity and some answers to the questions that you bring today. As usual, if you would like a free reading, just click the link in the pinned comment. You'll be added to a list. Just wait for your name to be called and have your question ready. A reminder of how I read. So I'm an energy reader, tapping into your energy, your situation. Please do provide context and detail in order to receive a meaningful reading. I don't do yes, no questions, timelines, or general readings. So please bear that in mind when posting your question. All the chat guidelines are also posted just in the Nightbot messages that you see, if you want to check them out whilst you're waiting for your reading. But hey to everyone in the chat. Hey Josephine, hey Diamond Girl, Ivo, Sruthi, Patricia, Anshuman, Pooja, hey Pooja. Pooja, thank you so much for your beautiful message that you dropped on the latest video that was posted. I'm really glad that that resonated for you and that your reading was chosen. Hey Patricia as well. I'm going to go and grab the list, guys, so bear with me one moment and then we'll get into it. And for anyone interested, I'm using the Gypsy Fair tarot deck today. And first up we have Veni. I'm not sure if I've seen Veni. If you are here, please go ahead and post your question, my love, and we'll get started. And I'll also post the list. There we go. Oh, awesome. Veni is here. You're very welcome, Pooja. So, right, let's get shuffling. So Veni asks, I would like to check on my own energy. Why do I always face delays in my life? It's like everything falls into place. Not suddenly, it's stuck. Any guidance for this? Let's check this out, Veni. So Spirit, please offer Veni some guidance regarding this question about facing delays. And that issue, that energy of feeling stuck. Major Arcana, the Lovers. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't here. I don't know if this is particularly in the area of love, or if this is just in general. Let me know if that's on a deeper level, maybe where you feel most stuck in the area of love connections and relationships. Of course, the Lovers card has a broader context and covers every aspect of our life. And really what the Lovers talks about is about being in alignment and about being connected to ourselves and our path. So what it brings up really is the question, or the energy, Veni, is if you are trusting your instincts and if you are aligning with your path. And it's about tapping into really that sense of flow, connecting to spirit, connecting your relationship to spirit, surrendering really to spirit as well, and being able to trust the process. But it also can be like that disconnect or that stuckness and that lack of flow can be when we are not in the right place, like not on the right path. Be that in the wrong relationship, in the wrong job, in the wrong living situation. It's when that's when that kind of hard work feeling, you know, everything feels like kind of clunky, that sense of flow is absent, is when often comes up when we're not in the right circumstance. So the message from Spirit here is to try to really to move into more alignment with what maybe your heart's desires, Venny, what you want, instead of maybe doing what you think you should do. Do you feel like a fish out of water, that you're in the wrong, maybe you're on the wrong path? And it is in love. Spirit, one comment please on particularly in the area of that Venny feels this in love, in relationships particularly. Four of Pentacles, again, it's about coming from a place of lack and fear often with the Four of Pentacles, and about trusting the process. Like Venny, when we're manifesting, really that's always the encouragement, is to be able to manifest what we want, what we desire, be it the life situation, the life partner, the love, you know, the soulmate energy that we want to bring in. It's about being able to, it's not about holding on to situations that are maybe that are not right for us. Four of Pentacles can be when we're holding on to something too tightly, or holding on to a person who isn't right for us, but we're scared that there's no one else out there for us. It's that kind of energy that the Four of Pentacles talks about. So it really is better to release those people, places, things that don't align with us, and hold space for what we truly want and really go for our ideal. And if this, even if this is taking time, even if this is taking longer than what we want, we kind of really have to trust in the universal plan, and that Spirit knows what is best for us. And as long as we're working on removing our resistance, our blocks, and shifting into an abundant energy, then the more that we can surrender and the more that we can let go. And again, that involves letting go of people, places, things that aren't right for us. Then that brings us really more into a sense of flow, and brings what we want quicker through for us. But you know, it really is a practiced art. The art of letting go is often what most of us trip up on and get stuck on when bringing through what we want, who we want. You know, this applies to that feeling of being stuck in all areas of our life. Look at where we are holding resistance. Look at where we are holding on too tight. And if something isn't working, Venny, then release it. If a connection isn't working, if it feels like too hard work, that would suggest that it's not right for you. The same applies to work, to living situations that I mentioned before. It's really kind of across the board, that if something feels like just hard work and effort, and if we are feeling frustrated again with the timeline of things, we really have to just, you know, the stuff that we don't understand, there's things that we don't see that are happening behind the scenes, that this delay's maybe happening for a reason, that your divine partnership is maybe in another connection that needs to end first before they are open and ready for you. You know, it can be a million and one things really that is going on behind the scenes that we don't see. So I keep hearing, trust the process, trust the process. And that will shift you out of that state of lack, Benny. And in turn, the kind of reward for that is that when you let go of it, the ironic thing is that that's often when it comes through for us. Hey, country. Right, moving on. So, Sruthi, my love, you are next. Benny, I hope that resonated for you. Oh, fuck. 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. Okay, so Sruthi asks, can you read my current energy and what's surrounding me right now? I've been feeling really happy and sad. Was that unhappy or is that happy and sad repeatedly for no reason? Let's do an energy read for you, Sruthi. Do you mean like happy, then sad, like up and down? Or I wasn't sure if you meant to say feeling unhappy and sad repeatedly, yeah? But let's have a look at your energy right now and what's surrounding you, Sruthi. The Emperor. So the Emperor energy. Okay, I want to check if you have, because the Emperor energy is quite an imposing kind of energy, yeah? It can be someone who is in your energy field. Take what resonates here, where it can be an actual person who is surrounding you. Or it can even be a kind of institution, because we're asking what energy is surrounding me. But it's quite a controlling energy, the Emperor, when it's in its shadow side. It has really quite a stern energy and a strict energy and almost militant it can be. You know, look how stern this Emperor looks here. And it can be quite overwhelming. It can be quite overbearing. So this could be a situation, this could be circumstances, this could be an actual person, or it can be really kind of like our internal Emperor, who is kind of in a way not being very kind to yourself and being almost like a dictatorship, you know, to yourself, holding yourself to maybe unrealistic standards. That's the kind of energy that I'm getting here, Sruthi. Going to pull one more for clarity. Oh, look at that, just falling out. This is like a very busy energy. Two of Pentacles. This is you having to juggle a lot. So maybe you are having to wear many hats right now, Sruthi. You have got a lot on the go. Like, look at this woman here. It's not inherently negative. It can be that you are actually going in the right direction and you are managing successfully to juggle everything that you've got on your plate. But nonetheless, much like this kind of pressure that I feel like we're putting on ourselves, or maybe someone or a situation is literally also putting pressure on us, too much pressure, and almost like as if we're not doing a good enough job, but they're insinuating that, or we're insinuating that about ourselves. But actually we are successfully juggling this situation. You are, Sruthi. So yes, I do have unrealistic standards. So we need to, I feel like this is kind of a state of overwhelm because you were just being a really little bit too harsh on yourself with this Emperor energy. You are not being, you know, when we're busy, when we've got a lot going on, we still need to find time to regenerate. So the Two of Pentacles, you know, we need to stay centered. We need to stay grounded in order to keep these juggling all these balls in the air. So maybe take some more downtime instead of putting always the foot on the gas, Ruthie. I feel like there's this, maybe in your mind, this voice always telling you to do more, 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 more. It's never enough. We need to try and say, you know, I'm doing enough. There's a lot going on. I'm successfully managing it. I'm going to take the pressure off myself a bit here. And do something that you just enjoy maybe as well. Some self-care, some meditation, whatever keeps you sane. And I would say, yeah, just stop being so harsh on yourself. There we go. Yeah, I feel like I'm not doing anything productive. But you are, Ruth, you are doing enough. Like that Two of Pentacles was saying, look, you are managing it. You are keeping everything up in the air. So try to take a step away from that. I think that's where that sadness is coming from, and where your mood will drop, because it's, you know, it's kind of like mental torture if we're always berating ourselves. Try to think of that voice, you know, like, would you speak to someone else like that? Would you speak to your friend? Would you speak to your, you know, loved ones in such that cruel manner? So, you know, let's not speak to ourselves with that harsh voice. Love and light, Shruti. I'm glad that resonated. Hey to everyone in the chat. If you would like a reading, click the link. Thanks, Country. As Country said, click the link in the pinned comment. You'll be added to a list and just wait for your name to be called. I'll just head over to the list now and update it. And we have Danny next. I'll be closing the list soon as well. So if you would like a reading, like I say, the link is in the pinned comment. It'll take you to a form and just ask when your name is called, just have your question ready. I'm not sure if I've seen Danny. Devea is on the list too. It just cut me off there. So we have Danny and then we have Country. If you both want to go ahead and post, so we just can keep things moving. Like I say, the list is closing soon, so please get your name down on the list. Click the link in the pinned comment. I'll leave it open for a few more minutes and then I'll close. Hey country, thank you so much. I'll read for country and then I'll close the list. So country says, what is the energy surrounding me forming a new LLC this year? I think my fear of failure holds me back a lot, but I also think some of my fears may be valid. Any guidance? Absolutely. Ooh, will I take that? I'm going to take that. 10 of Swords. Energy of indecision, being stuck in our head. 2 of Swords is at a crossroads, or maybe this is the energy really of how you were feeling around this particular decision, but also maybe in a broader aspect about your focus and your direction, country. Indecision. Because this person is blindfolded here as well, it's about the answers can't be found outside you, country. It's really about deepening the connection by looking in, and that voice is always trying to speak to us, but it's a quiet voice, yes, and it's up to us to really shush that noise, you know, that negative voice or that indecisive voice, because I feel like that you know what you need to do really, but something keeps taking, like maybe it's this fear of failure takes you off course, like you say, and it's this indecisive energy that keeps almost like coming back to you, like you can't. It's almost like a cycle, a repetitive cycle that we go round and round. And sometimes, you know, there's two sides to every situation. Reasons to do it, reasons not to do it. We can have all the facts and we can be very reasonable and very strategic. And yet somewhere in all of that kind of reason, what almost trumps all of that is our gut instinct. It's like when something looks right on paper, it could be a person, you know, it can be a job, it could be a house, but there's something in our gut that we don't know where it comes from. I mean, I think it's spirit. We do know where it comes from. Actually, it comes from spirit. It comes from the spark of spirit that we are a spark of universal light and wisdom. And it's that spark that is telling us, that knows something other, that knows something deeper, that this is not right for us. Can you tell me the energy specifically about this LLC? Page of Wands. I feel like we still need to continue to assess this, because that's the Page of Wands energy. So I would say wait on this for a bit longer. Do some more research. Do some more tapping into your intuition, quieting the noise inside, you know, our heads. Page of Wands is about preparation. Knight of Wands is when we take action. And I feel like this is saying hold off on taking any action right now. Country, we need to know more information. We need to So we're still in the gathering and energy, and we still need to just, it's good to look to the future and it's good to plan, but we're still learning, we're still navigating, we're still gaining information. And on a deeper level, we're working on this indecision. I mean, what I would say is as well, that there's a lot worse things than failing. It's actually worse to not try, in my opinion. And all people who are successful in business always have failures. It's just that we tend not to talk about them. We just talk about successes. But on that journey to success, there is no business owner that could tell that story without failures. So that's something also to bear in mind. Is that, if you do fail, is that really the worst thing? As long as we're, protecting our finances and we're not, going to financially ruin ourselves or something like that. If we are, protecting our survival, our basic needs, then anything above that is just, is calculated risk. But at the minute, we're still calculating before we make moves on this LLC specifically. So I hope that resonated, country. So guys, I'm going to close the list now. Oh, because it's got really full. Geeta, you're on the list. And I'll do an update. There we go. Right, so we have Anshuman, who is next. If you want to post your question, and Tia Bia. If you're here. Country says, right, I want to fail forward. Yeah, exactly. Try to desensitize yourself, country, to the idea of failure and see it as part of the process. So I'm not sure if Anshuman is here. But there's always a bit of a delay in the chat, guys, for me. So if you have posted and I haven't seen it, just give me a few minutes. There's the list. Anshuman, then Tia Bia, so you can both go ahead and post. Is Willis in there? Yes. Sorry, Willie Davis. Kritika, there we go, last but not least. Okay. I'm not sure. So Samreen and Anne Franklin, are you here? I'm not sure who's here. I did see Tia Bia earlier. She may still be writing. But if Samreen and Anne Franklin, if you want to go ahead and post as well. Oh, is Stoller on there for three times? Ah, okay. Thanks for pointing that out, country. I didn't see that. Lol. Okay, so Tia asks, hi, just energy check-in. Communication with the Pisces is open now. Good, good. But I can tell he's holding back. Just wondering if it's because he knows I'm on my birthday trip. And feeling anxious maybe, Tia. Let's have a look. Happy birthday trip though. I hope you're having a good time, Tia. Hey Anne, thanks for letting me know. But your Pisces, yes, is waiting, watching, gathering information again. Looking to the future though, so still thinking, seeing you in their future, Tia, and still being in their plans. But they are in a kind of, like you say, that holding back energy really, because this Page of Wands is standing still. What comes after the page is the night when they, I suppose, feel more relaxed, more comfortable, more reassured, and to be able to come towards you more and let their guard down. Because it's been relatively recent, I suppose, since, you know, there was quite a lot of no talking and, you know, they really backed off. So I feel like, yes, they are easing back into this, but they are still sort of watching and learning. Let's see how they feel about it being your birthday weekend. Oh, the Tower. They're just scared this might, they want it to work out. This is what I see to you, okay? But a lot of the time, this Pisces, they've got this insecurity, yeah? And the Tower card is like some fear that something is going to break this down and it's going to crumble. Unless there's some, from what you've told me and the information that I know, there hasn't been anything that has really validated that, apart from this reoccurring theme of them having kind of trust issues. I feel like worried that you're maybe going to leave them or meet someone else. And it feels like really that's the root of the cause. Have they been, you know, cheated on in the past? That's what I feel like. They've probably told you if they have and you know this, but I feel like that's probably the root cause of the issue, that they've had their trust broken severely in the past, and this is something that still haunts them and is still affecting this relationship, and that's what keeps coming back. So we work on it, we're working through, they're still engaged in this, but there is some fear that this can fall apart still. But just do what you can to do your part to reassure them as much as you can. But, you know, it is in their, if it's their issue and comes from their hurt and their pain, that's something that they just, obviously, which we've talked about in the past, something that they need to continue to work on. Yes, it's his fear. It's a big fear. So I hope that resonated to you. Anne asks, what kind of love experience is approaching on my path? You're welcome, Tia. What's next in love for Anne, please, Spirit? Ooh, nice. 3 of Pentacles. Someone who is going to be working with you, you know, not against you. Sometimes it can really feel like love connections, you know, is such a challenge and something, and that we're not a team, but this person really will be on your team. And team of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles is about having a common goal. So even though you might have a different experiences, a different approach even to life, but there is something about a relationship and your idea of what a relationship should look like is similar. and that you, both of you, and this person won't have obstacles, won't let obstacles, put them off, or differences put them off. This is about embracing each other's differences, allowing them to exist, and seeing how that makes the relationship actually more interesting, more nuanced and special. And as long as we've got, you know, a common goal in mind, which is you two being together and being in this committed relationship. Pentacles is earth, so this is grounded, this is committed, this is invested. You're both invested in working this out. It can be a meeting through friends, because there's a 3 here, which is just like a friend of a friend kind of vibes, that you would meet them this way. Also, because it's Pentacles, it could be through work or study. Again, through colleagues or through friends. And 5 of Cups is about overcoming some disappointments as well. So this could be your energy, it could be their energy, but 5 of Cups is about they've had experiences that haven't worked out. And I know you've had those disappointments as well, Anne. And it's about not letting them define your future and not allowing those to really cast a shadow of doubt over, is the love that we really want possible? Is it still possible? The 3 of Pentacles says it is. It says that it can happen quite easily. But the 5 of Cups is about keeping that door open and focusing on what remains rather than what we've lost. We must give ourselves time to obviously heal the disappointments and feel the losses, but also not get stuck there. So this could tell us, if this resonates for you, Anne, take that message, but it also can be where they're coming from. Someone who has had their own disappointment, deep hurts and disappointments in love, and allow it to inform really more about what we want more of and what we don't want, rather than saying this is how it always has to be, if that makes sense. That's the danger of the 5 of Cups, is that we get fixated on the loss and the disappointment instead of what still remains. I hope that resonated. So I don't think Samreen is here. Josephine, please go ahead, my love, and post your question. Josephine and Diamond Girl. Samreen, post if you are here. But I haven't seen Samreen. You're welcome, Anne. So please go ahead and post Josephine and Diamond Girl. And just check out the list, guys, in the chat if you're waiting for your reading. I've just posted it so you can see where you are. So, Diamond, are you single at the minute? Just tell me a little bit about your current circumstances. It allows me to connect with your energy and give you a meaningful reading. Please go ahead and post your question, Josephine. let's see what's the energy of what's next in love for Diamond, their next future serious relationship. Oh, married but complicated. So we're looking for a new relationship, Diamond. Just let me know, guys, because I'm an energy reader. Please give me detailed context, obviously as much as that you're comfortable with, but tell me a little bit about what's your situation, and really kind of try and get to the root of the question of what you're asking, because it really will be a lot more meaningful for you. You know, we need to be honest with the spirit and honest with the tarot cards in order to get an honest reading back, yeah? Again, Josephine, tell me about this relationship with Sandeep. So when you say what good things can I look forward to? Okay, so Diamond, married but complicated but unhappy marriage, I guess. We need to end this out first, Diamond Girl. We've got the Death card, which is about transformation. And I feel like what you are currently in the midst of, you know, if it's not fully closed out, then that's where our energy is. The Death card is a major arcana, so it's a big deal, this. Obviously, it's a big deal for a marriage to end. And I feel like we need to be, if this is going to end, if this is going to be over, that's where our focus needs to be right now. Good endings make for new beginnings. And the Death card is about that you're going through a transformation, Diamond, okay? Through if this marriage is ending and that we come out the other side, we will be in some ways reborn, a different person. And I almost feel like we can't look at what you might not even want a relationship for a bit, yeah? When you come out the other side, we might want to be on our own for a bit to get to know ourselves, to enjoy our independence, to enjoy our freedom. We might want to have some fun and not have a serious relationship. You might want to have a serious relationship, but probably leaving a marriage and then diving into a serious relationship immediately is not, you know, the best thing, I would say. We need to really embody this transformation and go through the process and go through the experience fully. And another relationship would just kind of mess things up right now for you. Like I said, the Death card, it's not a negative card. It's like what it would suggest that, you know, this ending will be beneficial. A release from this marriage, if you are done with it, will be like being free again. So we really need to focus on ourselves and this transformation right now, Diamond Girl. And I feel like a relationship should not be where we're focusing our energy right now. When we are ready to look again at relationships, at love, if we close this marriage out, if it really has ended and we have gone through this rebirth and we found ourselves re-emerged, grown, wiser, stronger, the Six of Pentacles, the focus of the next relationship, is about reciprocity, Diamond. Six of Pentacles is about give and take, and about who we let into our lives is about really focusing on what we are giving to someone that we are getting back. And that balance, can you see these balance of scales here, is equal. So maybe that's what was wrong with your marriage before. You know, in previous relationships where we've given too much and we're just not getting back what we're putting in. And those relationships, you know, often don't survive or don't thrive. And Six of Pentacles is about someone who is coming into your life who actually can match your energy and is on the same page. And as well, it's about seeing any red flags as well when we do meet people. You know, if we find ourselves giving to someone and we're not getting it back, to in a way, like, get out there quick, sooner rather than later, rather than stick around to try and get this person to reciprocate what we're giving. So a few messages there. This is where your focus needs to be now. Fully embody this transformation and this ending. When we have re-emerged, when we are ready for the next relationship, we're talking about balance and we're talking about reciprocity. Give and take is essential. And like I say, maybe that's what was missing in your marriage. And you want to get back what you put in. Exactly. Okay. So Josephine asks, what are the good things I can look forward to in my relationship with Sandeep? So Josephine, I ask, can you tell me a little bit more about this relationship? What do you mean by, you know, what are the good things that I'm looking forward to? Is this relationship lacking in some ways? Do you want more from it? Do you want me to have a look at the energy surrounding this relationship, guidance for it? I wouldn't really read the tarot in, it's, you know, such a kind of, what are the good things that come next in this relationship? It's not really how I would read the tarot. So I'm going to read for Josephine now if she can clarify her question. If not, I will move on. So in the meantime, whilst we're waiting for Josephine to clarify, can Patricia and Pooja both post your question, please? So Josephine, I've asked you to clarify your question if you would like a reading. So I'm asking you to tell me more about your relationship, Josephine. I'm not sure if we've got a communication issue here. So Patricia and Pooja as well, please go ahead and post your question. If Patricia and Pooja aren't here, we have Tejas, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, and Sonali. A long distance relationship, okay. Okay, so this is their energy that's come through. And the King of Cups, okay, I feel like they do have some deep emotions around this. They do care about this connection. It is valuable to them. The King of Cups is someone who feels things deeply. They can be externally quite reserved. They may be a water sign or have this prominent in their chart, but generally the King of Cups is someone who's quite quiet, quite reserved, and they are someone who thinks before they speak. Now, what comes sort of flashes into my mind here though is, I'm wondering if this is them, or it could be somewhat a new person's energy. Do those characteristics, Josephine, resonate with them? Someone who, so you do say they lack communication, so that can be someone who is quiet, holds back. But beneath that, there is deep feelings, there is love there is emotion there. What I would say is that I'm going to ask another card, but this King of Cups, this is something about, this is that maybe you have to accept, Josephine, that, and maybe that won't work for you if you need someone who's more open. But this is part of their character, that they are quite closed off, and that their feelings they maybe keep quite buried. The feelings are there, but if they aren't openly communicating this to you, if they're not able to share their feelings, then for sure, yeah, that's a problem. It's kind of reassuring because it's saying that they do feel deeply for you and there are feelings of love here, but it's also saying, you know, if you want that, maybe you need a higher level of communication that they'll never be able to give you. So something to bear in mind, okay? One more, please, Spirit. Five of Cups, so some loss and disappointment. The question to ask yourself, okay, so if you feel like some loss and disappointment in this connection, things maybe haven't worked out as you planned or have not gone to plan. There is still, so in the traditional deck, say, the Five of Cups in the image is that 3 cups that have spilled, 3 cups have been knocked over, 2 cups remain. There is still potential in this relationship for things to improve. But in order to do that, we need to stop focusing on the disappointments, the losses and what hasn't worked out. And I do feel like that question has come up again, that maybe, you know, the 2 of Cups that remain, this relationship could continue and you can continue it, and all is not lost. But I do think maybe the idea of how this relationship is going to be, and maybe wanting this person to be someone different, you might experience more disappointment and more losses. So, yeah, accept that this is who they are, and then maybe how will that affect this dynamic, and maybe change perspective for you and how you deal with this person. Or you might think, okay, this isn't enough for me and I need someone who is more open, and that's completely fine too, because you mustn't sacrifice your needs and your desires, Josephine. Okay, I'll leave it there. I hope that resonated. Still potential there. There is still potential for things to get better, for things to improve, but we also, like I say, must know that this is kind of essentially who they are at their core. Is they're never going to be great at communicating. Okay, thank you, Sonali, for posting. Sonali asks, Sarab's feelings towards me, not in contact. We used to be in a situationship. Let's have a look, Sonali. Ooh. Queen of Cups. So they still see you as this Queen of Cups. Cups is often about love, romance. They still see you in a very good light. You can see how, you know, really beautiful this Queen of Cups is. A queen is someone who people respect as well. And the Queen of Cups is someone who has a lot to offer. Queen of Cups is very emotionally tapped in, tuned in, is sensitive, is empathic, often has psychic abilities, much like that King of Cups who came through, you know, is a deep thinker and a deep feeler, and can be, like I say, that kind of sensitive, reserved nature. So why the block, Spirit? Why the block? If Sonali is seen in such a good light, then why the no contact? Why the block? I would say not ready for commitment. So, and maybe that's something what you needed, which is completely understandable. 10 of Pentacles is when we're really looking for a long-term relationship, a long-term commitment, leading to, you know, what, you know, it can be marriage, kids, you know, house, or whatever your version of happily ever after is. The 10 of Pentacles is that focus and that goal. And maybe you're ready for that, or it almost doesn't even matter what was almost what you wanted. It all this card says is that they are not ready for commitment with anyone. So it's, they see you in a good light, they see you as beautiful, they see you as relationship material, and they were not in the right place, Sonali. So I know that's disappointing, but really if that's what you need, or if that's what you want, which is totally acceptable, or you needed more from them and they just were not there, and that's why this fizzled out. So it's not that they see you in a bad light, or it wasn't an issue about how attracted they were to you or anything like that. It was just that they weren't in the right space for a proper relationship, and I feel like they still aren't. Yeah, they may come back around, you know, when this can change, when they change. But I think right now we're in that space. It's better that you are in no contact, Sonali. Yeah, you're welcome. Pooja, you can go ahead and post. And then I'm going to post the rest of the list. So Beatrice, if you were here. So Pooja, post. Beatrice, please post your question. And anyone who's watching, or if you watch the replay and you would like a reading and you weren't able to make the list today, I go live Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and I always post the schedule on the community tab. and open the list the day before the live. So just go to the community page if you want to. You'll be notified for any upcoming readings. But my schedule is Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays. I always go live. Hey Beatrice, thank you for posting. Beatrice says, hello, I am friends with a Scorpio and I am a Scorpio. Also, however, he's being different and wanted to know if he is catching feelings or what's going on. Okay, so friendship, but they're acting different and you want to know. Let's get an energy read on them and see what's going on. How they feel about you. Why are they acting different, Spirit, towards Beatrice? Ooh, yes, they are catching feelings. This King of Cups has turned up again. Look at this as well, because it's a water sign. King of Cups is ruled by the element of water. They are a Scorpio. So again, like I mentioned previously, the King of Cups is someone who feels things deeply, okay? And Scorpios are deep by nature. You probably know this as a Scorpio as well. That when we do like someone, we tend to go all in. That's Scorpio's kind of nature. And they can be quite reserved initially, at least, and they may have gone quiet on you in some ways, or there may be some awkwardness, and they're not quite ready to communicate yet that their feelings have changed. But the King of Cups is someone who really has to get it right in their head and get it right in their mind and heart and be certain before communicating this. So I feel like that's the energy that I'm picking up on, is that they're having these feelings, but they're trying to work it out themselves still. And they want to be certain, they want to be sure before letting you know. It's tricky, yeah, because when you've got a friendship, and then if they communicate this to you and you don't feel the same way, you know, it can really obviously blow up this friendship and end it. So I feel like they are being maybe just sensible in being cautious and trying to read the situation and also check out their own feelings and make sure, you know, is this definitely something that I want to act upon and sort of take this risk. So I don't know how you feel, if you feel that you would be open to that change. You can kind of let them know without having to actually voice it. I'm calling you Scorpio, Beatrice. Scorpio Beatrix. You can either keep this strictly friendship and almost give off that vibe and let them know that that's how you want to be. Or if you are open to this developing into something more, we can also send out that vibes, but I'm not saying to communicate this necessarily. It's just there is a way intuitively of kind of encouraging that or blocking that, if that makes sense, yeah? You like him. So just with subtle signs, subtle actions, you know, we can let someone know that we are open to this, yeah? So to encourage them to make that move and to speak out, that's what you could do. Seven of Wands, feeling backed into a corner about something. What do they feel backed into a corner about, Beatrice? Is there anything else that I'm missing about there's no one else in the picture, or that they could just be feeling like, oh, you're in the friendship zone and that's and they're scared about getting out of that? But is there anyone else in the picture that could be making them feel blocked? Five of Cups, some kind of disappointment and loss. I feel like this is their energy. A bit scared to take this risk, maybe from past losses, disappointments of in the past of relationships. Seven of Cups is feeling backed into a corner. Yeah, I'm not sure why he's holding back. So there's no one else in the picture that you... Clarify one more, please, Spirit, why they're holding back. I think they're just scared. Oh, look, they will make an offer. Page of Cups, okay? This is a love offer, so it will come through. I think they're just scared of being rejected. They're scared of taking the risk, but I think they will find the courage. This says that they will do this. Like I said, what's holding them back really is that they are checking in with themselves, that they really want to take this risk and have a go at this and see and move forward to moving into a relationship. Past disappointments in relationships of taking this risk and being rejected or it not working out could be on their mind. Seven of Wands is feeling like kind of awkward and they know they have to do this, but it feels like jumping off a cliff. So all I would say is, in order to bring this Page of Cups forward, this love offer forward, which will happen, is just encourage them in your, being receptive. And let them know in your vibes and your behaviour that you would be open to this, okay? So I hope that resonates. So I'll move on. Pooja says, thanks for allowing me, Seer. My APFC written exam is on November the 30th, which is very important for my career. I would like to know what energies will be like for me that day. I can see what energies surround this exam and see what spirit comes through. And guidance, exactly. What guidance does spirit have for me regarding this exam? Ooh, the Devil energy. Is there the Devil energy is about our habits and behaviours and about breaking the chains around the bad habits that we need to, that we all have them, okay? Habits and behaviours that don't serve us. What is your bad habit, I want to say, almost around exams? I think if this has come through, is there, like, it could be about putting too much pressure on yourself. It could be about procrastination of preparing. Sometimes we can self-sabotage around exams. There can be such pressure and such fear around taking an exam that we start kind of acting out and do it, either not preparing, or we can over prepare in a way, in the sense that we kind of burn ourselves out. So I think that's why this card has turned up, Pooja. Oh, you have a bad habit of procrastination. So there we go. So we need to be mindful of that, Pooja, going in, because procrastination, the root of that is often fear and anxiety. Yeah, the fear of failure. So do you feel like you're able to get help with that? Are you able to find a schedule that works for you? a routine of being able to prepare and study for this so that we are ready going in and that we're not procrastinating, like we are setting ourselves up to give ourselves the best chance. Is there anyone that you can get who can help you with this? Or do you feel that you are working on this successfully, Pooja, to avoid, so we're not procrastinating? Let me know. Because I feel like that's where the intention and the focus needs to be. You know, what works for you? Does it, to get a diary and to block out times of when you are going to study and showing up and just doing what you can in that time, whatever happens, if you feel like it or if you don't, something like that. Yeah, whatever works for you, of course. Some kind of routine. There needs to be a routine, get up at this time, have breakfast, go to the gym or whatever, and then go to the library in the morning if that works. It does morning works for you, and then we don't lose the day. Or if that's not realistic, do we need to do it in the evening? Even if it's like going late into the night, some people work better at night if it's like 11 p.m, but then we stop, so we go, right, okay, I'm gonna have dinner and then I'm gonna study from 7 to 11 or something like that. And we just keep showing up regardless. Even if we don't get much done, we show up. Because look at this, Queen of Pentacles. You're totally capable, Pooja. Queen of Pentacles is about someone who is actually fantastic at multitasking, is organized, is practical, can get things done. So I feel like when you're in the right state of mind and when you're focused, you're very, very effective. And the Queen of Pentacles is, she's very good at interacting with the world, like she's savvy, she's switched on, she's, like I said, very effective. This is earth energy, so it's about being able to really get in the zone and get stuff done, get it done. So I feel like this is Spirit saying, this is, try to reframe as well, like how you think about yourself, and that this is, that you are very capable and you can be this Queen of Pentacles energy and really get stuff done. And this is the energy, this exam and this process is, if we can embody this Queen of Pentacles, then no one can get in our way, really. No one can, we're quite unstoppable when we're in this Queen of Pentacles energy. So keep working on these blocks based around fear, anxiety, and start trying to tap into your Queen of Pentacles. And this is Spirit saying, in regards to this exam, Pooja, you really are extremely capable. And set up for success if we can just not let those habits, mess it up for us. Yeah, I know that can be easier said than done. I have a huge fear of failure, says Pooja. Yeah, it's come up quite a few times, that. Pooja, have you also, just around exams and things like that, I mean, this can be useful for everyone, but I don't know if you've explored EFT. It can be a way of really getting very easily and simply towards to the root cause of that fear of failure, fear of anxiety, and you can laser it in on your exam. Have you heard of it? It's called emotional freedom technique. There's lots of, if you just search on YouTube, there's loads of videos on it. So I would highly recommend looking that up. Thank you, Devea. So we have Devea, who I'll read for next, and then we have Stoller, and then we have Willie Davis. If you both want to post your questions, and I'll read for Devea now. Devea says, hi, I'm visiting a new place. currently, and I really like it. What is the potential in me moving to this area? No problem, Pujot. I'm just going to post it here. Thank you, Stolla. I'll read for you after Devea. So Devea is visiting a new place and they really like it. What is the potential for you moving to this area, Spirit? Ooh, the opportunity, yeah, for a new beginning, Devea. Absolutely. Major Arcana. Very good energy around this. I feel like if you want to make this happen, it is very possible. All that you would need to focus on is, so the World card is about endings and new beginnings. And the only question that would be raised, it would say, yes, here is a new opportunity. If you feel drawn to that, this is a new cycle for you, a new way of life, a new beginning. But we must also make sure that we have closed out past energies. So wherever you're leaving from, yeah, take how that resonates as well. Like, there just feels like there needs to be something. Are you done with where you're at? Basically, do you feel done with that? Is there nothing left for you there? And is this the right time? Because I think it's like, say maybe that this place, I don't know if you've been presented with a new opportunity, but it also feels like, you know, that this place can wait for you for the right time. But maybe you're ready for that new beginning now, Devea. But this question always asks of the world, it says, which I've said a few times this session, because sometimes this collective messages obviously come through, that good endings make for good new beginnings. So don't rush this process. Don't just, you know, let's do it right. But if you feel ready and it feels natural and it kind of feels easy, that we're totally done with where we're at, then yeah, by all means, move forward. This feels expansive. It feels natural. But just be honest with yourself. If the past is closed down correctly. I hope that resonated. Okay, so Stolla. So we have Willie Davis. If you're still here, please also post. And then, just so we know who's after that, we have Geeta, Jazz, and Kritika, I think. This is for Stolla though. So Stolla says, will Derek and Antoinette end up together in a relationship? So are you Derek or Antoinette, Stolla? He's unhappily married. Are you Antoinette? Thanks for letting me know, Kritika. He's currently in a relationship and I'm going through a divorce. At the moment, we're not talking like before. He pulled back like nothing happened. Let's have a look what's going on here. So I don't do yes, no questions when you say, will Derek and Antoinette end up together? But I can certainly have a look at the energy surrounding this, why they pulled back. Thanks for clarifying your Antoinette. You're welcome, Devea. Interesting. Queen of Pentacles, Ten of Cups. So what I want to say is, I feel like this Queen of Pentacles, it's almost like practical issues maybe of the relationship that they're in has pulled them back into this connection. Because this feels what this Queen of Pentacles is about. This could be, it feels like more like their partner, you know, that they're in a relationship rather than your energy. Okay, Stoller. And Pentacles is about practical issues like money, living situation, if they live together, or if their lives are kind of entwined practically. And this can happen when, you know, we're in tricky situations like this, when there is in ebbs of flow of when they will kind of shift in and out of their energy, will either be focused with you or will be focused with their other person. Yeah, it's kind of divided really. That is going to happen. And it's almost like with this Ten of Cups, I feel like that their emotional happiness has almost been put on the back burner. Maybe that's where they get that from you, is, you know, it's let me know if this resonates in some ways, that it's a lot of it, it's just feelings when it comes to you. It's about our heart's desires, passions. Maybe there's less practical stuff because it's, you don't live together, maybe that you've got separate lives, and that this is a relationship not bogged down by the, you know, day-to-day life. Yeah. But then we do get this Ten of Wands, which I feel like there is some weariness in them. And I think this is about that they can only walk this line for so long, and that they will have to make a decision, pick one relationship to commit to, I guess. Commit to you or commit to this other person, because it's Ten of Wands is feeling burnt out. Like this situation for us, it's drained them. Yeah, exactly. All vibe, like good feelings, excitement, love, as you say, made him feel good and showed him what real life is. Exactly. So and I think it is wearing on them, and that they are in a bit of a state of burnout in walking that line, you know, and maybe living two lives. So what's their likely future action? I think that, and then I'll leave it there. So it's a bit like, this is your connection, you know, like all kind of good feelings and happiness, and almost like none of the day-to-day practicalities bringing this down. And then we do have this other relationship, which is, like I say, maybe they live together and their lives are more entwined practically. Anyway, living these two sides has got them worn out, burnt out. Something's got to give, something's got to change. After the 10 does come an ace, which is a new beginning. But let's see what their likely actions will be. They may not, you know, they may struggle on with still trying to walk this line, but they're just going to get deeper and deeper into feeling kind of that burnout, I think. Exactly. Exactly, Stoller. They need to go within to reflect. In a way, the Hermit card is like they need to, in some ways, have, which may be impossible for them, but it would be best for them, they need to have some time alone to really find out what it is that they really want. It's kind of crunch time, Stoller, I think, because of this 10 of Wands. And you may feel that, and that's why they've gone quiet again, whilst they've gone... did you say something up here? Why you're feeling that he's pulled back, okay, is because something's got to give with this 10 of Wands. They do need some time on their own to really look within, because this is a big question about what's going to dictate the rest of their, you know, foreseeable future and life partner. So they might be in hermit mode now. They might already be there doing lots of self-reflection, thinking and feeling and asking themselves what they really want. And I think it will become apparent, and you will get an answer in the near future about which way this is going to fall, Stoller, because like I say, it feels like crunch time. They can't keep doing what they've been doing. Maybe you feel like that as well. It's time for change, either to like, let's move this forward and make this committed and real, or we need to get closure on this. So if you gave it all and he didn't give much back, this may not be worth you holding out for, Stoller, you know? If someone's not available and able to meet you with that reciprocity of what you're giving, then that is like a red flag. This could be an opportunity for you to walk away if you're able to do that. You know, you don't have to stick this out. You don't owe them anything. Anyway, either way, I do feel like that it does feel like crunch time. And in answer to your question of why they've pulled back, it's because something's got to give, yeah? And maybe you feel that too. And they need to do some self-reflection and look inwards and ask themselves what they really want. But if they are not already not giving much back to you, then maybe you need to look for more and ask for more and free yourself of this connection if it's, like you say, it's draining you. So I'll leave it there, Stoller, but I hope that resonated. Thank you, Geeta. Hey, Jazz, please go ahead and post, Jazz, and then I'll read for... So Jazz, and I'll read for Geeta next, and then last on the list, last but not least, Jazz and Kritika. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So Geeta, this is for you. Geeta says, my crush Prem feelings, thoughts towards me, no contact, long distance. Recently I sent an email. You read it and blocked you. Oh no, next day unblocked me and again blocked me. Oh, that's kind of messy, Geeta. Thanks for posting. Let's have a look. Got a lovely card, Geeta here. Major Arcana. What first came through is I feel like that you are stronger than this person, that you are more mature than this person. And I suppose I feel like if you are going to continue with this connection, we need to be quite thick-skinned, because I feel like that their actions and behaviors have obviously been erratic. Yeah, this in-out energy, this stop-start energy. First, ask yourself the question, do you want to continue with someone who is that erratic? But if you do, then you need to understand that in some ways you're the mature one in this connection. You're the one who is going to have to just hold this line and not be too reactive to this in and out energy. I'm going to pull one more, because I feel like this is your energy here, this is their energy. And it's almost like taming the lion, yeah? But you shouldn't have to, what I suppose raises the question, do you want to teach them? Do you want to have to almost parent this person? Not really, Tell me more about their feelings, please, Spirit. Why are there's some lot, this has come up quite a lot today, just as a collective energy. 5 of Cups, some kind of loss, disappointment. It doesn't feel, tell me if this resonates with something that's happened in this connection in the past. Has this crush ever been able to develop into something more? Are they disappointed in something that you've done or something that you've said? And this is why they're being like this? Still feels like an overreaction, maybe a kind of childish response. But this is the energy that they're in. They're in quite a negative headspace, whatever has got them here. Be that something in your connection, something that's going on for them in another area of life. But they seem to be stuck here, almost maybe even kind of sulking. Oh, you said something. Okay. So they're kind of punishing you, Gita, about this, yeah? So again, let them, there is a kind of childishness about this, so let them just be disappointed, let them be frustrated, let them kind of act this out. And you just need to be the bigger person. If you want to continue this connection, rise above it and just kind of let them get on with it, and just say, if you've made a mistake, you can apologize, but there's only so many times that you can apologize, and just leave it at that. He misunderstood you. So he will get over it, Gita. And like I say, it feels like a bit of an overreaction, but they are sulking, yeah? And as long as you've explained and you've tried to and apologized if necessary, that's all you can do. So the 5 of as well, which I'll just say this and then I'll leave it, but the 5 is also a good sign, because it says that this will pass, Gita, quite fast. So just give them a bit of time and space to get over it, and they will, because the 5 says, the 5's energy is almost, it seems quite dramatic at the time, but it actually comes in and it goes, it leaves as quickly as it comes, if that makes sense, yeah? So it will pass, and just stay strong. Don't let this rattle you. Don't take it too seriously. It's not that deep, yeah? Play them at their own game, Gita, Hope that resonated. Hey Andrew, the list is closed today, but I will be live on Wednesday and Friday. Please do catch us then. So Jazz, this is for you, my love. Jazz says, what does my head of department think about me? I know that you're teaching, Jazz. It has been 2 months since I joined. Sometimes I feel he doesn't have a good opinion of me. Okay, let's have a look. How they see you. Still early days, Jazz, yeah? Still early days. Oh, 2 of Cups. No bad feelings here. 2 of Cups is about like a connection. 2 of Cups is when someone is able to really match your energy. I mean, this obviously isn't a love reading, but it's actually a card of soulmates. So it can be as well about mirroring people's behavior. Could be even that they see themselves in you. If you were picking up on kind of negative vibes, I don't know if it can be sometimes mirroring energy is when if we're not that certain about someone, then they can kind of pick up on that and reflect it back to us, if that makes sense. Or if we don't like someone, then they can kind of feel that and then they put up a wall and reflect it back to us. I'm going to pull one more card to get some clarity. No, but it's early days, so it says like, you know, that there is potential here for this to actually build into a positive relationship, actually to be someone that you're maybe rely on or have a connection with, an understanding. Ace of Pentacles is like saying this is just the beginning, Jazz, okay? And maybe this is someone they need to watch how you perform. They are still, you know, they've got a lot on their plate, so they're just kind of seeing how you develop as a teacher, seeing how you develop in this place of work before making any kind of final decisions about you. But also the Ace of Pentacles is about there being potential here for it to develop into actually quite a good relationship and something positive, and that there is a connection here. So I would hang on to that and I would hold on to that. And I think maybe what you're picking up on is maybe just some insecurities. It can happen a lot when you know, we've got a head of department or a boss or a manager who is in a position of power, and it can make us feel, I know I've experienced this, where you feel they don't like you and you're not performing how they would expect of you. And I think it is just kind of a bit fear, anxiety and insecurity, because both these cards feel very encouraging and positive by nature, and you may actually, you know, celebrate and raise a glass together in something that you've actually achieved further down the line. So just give it time, give it chance to develop. I hope that resonated. Thanks, Kritika. I don't know if Jazz got that. Kritika, have you posted your question? I think you have. I'll just scroll up. There we go. So Kritika asks, hey, what is the current energy surrounding my connection with Vaibhav? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Sorry if I'm not. We started as friends, have confessed our feelings, how exciting, but now things feel uncertain about where it's heading. Okay, let's have a look. No problem, Jazz. Just go back and listen to your reading, even if you need to. Thank you, Kritika. Let's have a look what's going on. It feels uncertain. Let's have a look at the energy surrounding this connection. Ooh. Yeah. I feel like it's a bit like reality's set in now, because we've confessed our feelings, and then the Emperor is, we're maybe both wanting to regain a bit of control here, Kritika, because we're both feeling a bit exposed, feeling a bit vulnerable. Now, the Emperor, though, as well, it can be as well about taking control of the situation and making some decisions about, how this relationship is going to look, how is it going to work. And maybe that both of you are kind of scared to make that first move. It doesn't have to be a big thing, but it can just be like setting up a date, setting up places to go. It doesn't have to be anything big, but I do feel like that someone needs to take the first step and take control of the situation. And maybe, Kritika, do you feel like it needs, which I understand, you may feel like it needs to come from them, that they need to take control more, start to, court you, date you, get to know you, like move things to the next level. Maybe you're feeling that kind of lack, and there's that space of that they're not taking control of the situation in the way that they need to. Let me know if that resonates, Kritika. I'm going to pull another card. Ooh, 2 major arcanas. So we've got the Devil card here, which is about not falling into bad habits, not falling into behaviors from the past that don't work for us, which can just be, I feel like Spirit is saying that we need to keep being honest with our feelings and what we need and what we want. And maybe we've, like I say, now we've shared our feelings, and then it feels like the whole energy's been pulled back, when actually we need to keep pushing forward with that truth, with that honesty, with that confidence. Oh, he says he isn't ready. So it's like he's freaked out now that he's said it. I agree, Kritika, that he needs to do that. And if he's saying he isn't ready, then this could be his toxic behaviors from the past. Maybe this is something that he does, that he wants to be with someone and he shares it, and then he's told you how he feels about you, but then he's backed away. He never talks about his feelings, and he only ever talks logically. Well, if he wants this to work, Kritika, he's going to have to start talking about his feelings more, isn't he? I feel like he has fallen into some old bad habits here, Kritika, okay? Let's have advice for you, and then I'll leave it at that. But this is some quite heavy energies to deal with for you, Kritika. You've shared your feelings, and then now it feels like that they're dropping the ball, that they're freaking out. I feel like you need to, don't put your walls up, but I feel like you do need to protect your energy at this point and just be still. Don't chase them. Allow them to come to you, and if they aren't ready, then you'll just have to leave them to that. Really, you can't force them to open up or talk about their feelings. Yeah, you've given up now, so I feel that's right. I don't think you should chase them. I'm so tired of my own heart. So it doesn't feel good, okay? It feels like they've kind of messed you around. They've said that they want this, and then they've dropped the ball, really. So I would back off from this, critiquer. So you have, yeah. Focus on spending time with friends, socializing. Can you see how this Three of Cups is a more light-hearted card, but it's about staying busy, staying social, saying yes to invitations from other people, and really kind of distracting yourself as best that you can. And if they come back and they've got something proper and something real to offer you, then if you feel like you want to explore this more, then do so. But right now, I feel like that, look at these energies. They've really kind of fallen into shadow with this. And I don't think you should give them any more energy or attention, and that you should explore other options and like I say, spend time with friends and busy yourself and let them kind of really stew in their own juices, really, because it's unfair really what they've done to you. Yeah, hope that resonated. Stay positive with that Three of Cups. Spend time with people who lift you up. Okay guys, so I'm going to end the live there. Thank you all so much for joining today's live. I hope the messages you received brought you some clarity, peace and inspiration for the days ahead. Remember to always take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and trust your own inner guidance. And I'll be back for our next live on Wednesday, so keep an eye out on the community tab for the schedule and updates. Until then, be kind to yourselves, keep centering your energy, and stay open to the guidance around you from spirit. Sending you love and light. Take care, and I'll see you soon. You're very welcome, critiquer. See you soon, my love.